Hello, my friends. This is Lady Travel Solo. If this is your first time here, to find out about travel insights, travel information, and travel news, start now by subscribing and clicking on the notification bell so you don't miss anything. I don't think Russia has seen its worst yet in terms of the pandemic because not all Russians are taking the Wuhan virus threat seriously, and not everyone adheres to the self-isolation guidelines. On Sunday, March 29, Russia has announced a complete lockdown for the capital and its 11 million residents. Because the authorities do not ban all travels by trains or airplanes sooner, like in January, from Moscow to other regions, there are now 71 out of 85 regions had reported cases of the coronavirus by March 30. If Russia is smart, it should make sure that they do a lot more testing on its citizens and get the citizens to adhere to self-isolation if they are tested positive. Or even if they're not, they should do self-isolation just so that they can get the curve down, to flatten the curve. As well as also ensure that they have enough medical supplies for the medical professionals, so these professionals could continue to treat people and keep their health system intact and functional. So with Russia's population around 146 million, let's say, the number of tests for COVID-19 being performed by Russia as of March 19, 2020 is only around 143,000, and that is less than 1%. So that's why I said that to be smart, Russia should gear up on their testing, especially when now they're in a lockdown, but they've seen that the number of coronavirus cases have been growing in various regions in the country. So if they do more testing and accelerate the testing, then they'll be able to isolate those infected individuals or even asymptomatic individuals to prevent a wider spread in the community. With the competent Russian spy network and intelligence, I have no doubt that Putin may have already been aware or even have information on hand about the Wuhan virus. Imagine if Putin were made to suffer from the disease, like Boris Johnson and Prince Charles. What kind of damage do you think will do to the Chinese-Russian relation? Putin not only have a personal stake in this, but he also has a political one, and that is his referendum in April to hold power. So we have yet to find out what Putin is going to unleash onto China, as this Wuhan virus pandemic might interfere with the planned April 22nd referendum to ratify Putin's continued rule for at least another 16 years, which means Putin will stay in power until 2036. So how do you think Putin will react if his plan is being destroyed by this pandemic caused by the Wuhan virus? You might think China deserves whatever fate Russia and the world dish out to China, and such fate may be proper, appropriate, and proportionate. I would agree with you that China deserves it. Look at the economic, political, and health disasters the world is facing now caused by this Wuhan virus. China is responsible for this pandemic and need to answer to the world. Open investigations are needed to look into this whole Wuhan virus leak and spread into other nations. Why is the virus leak from the P4 lab if it is such a leak as opposed to an intentional distribution?